Imagine holding a coin so small, so ordinary-looking, that most people would walk right past it without a second glance. Yet, hidden in your hand could be a fortune worth nearly $1 million. That's right, the 1968 Mint Mark Lincoln Penny, a 1-cent coin that could change your financial destiny. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But this tiny copper treasure has stunned collectors and investors alike, reaching auction prices of up to $968,000. And today, you're about to find out exactly why. Let's start with something most people overlook. In 1968, the San Francisco Mint produced a large number of proof coins, many of which bore the S Mint mark beneath Lincoln's shoulder. But among those were a few mysterious varieties, coins struck with errors so rare that they've become legendary in the numismatic world. Some show doubled dies, others possess unique minting anomalies that only a trained eye could catch. These aren't your everyday pennies, they're history, art, and opportunity all wrapped into one shiny copper disc. You might be wondering, how can something worth 1 cent jump to nearly $1 million? The answer lies in 3 key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. The 1968 S Lincoln Penny in pristine proof condition, graded PR 70 by professional services, is almost like a miracle, flawless under magnification. Collectors know that such perfection is practically extinct. Combine that with the allure of a famous minting year, and you've got a coin that can spark bidding. War's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and here's the wild part. Most of these treasures aren't sitting in museum vaults. They're tucked away in old boxes, coffee tins, and dusty drawers across America. Maybe even in your home. Ever think about that jar of old coins sitting in your closet? It might be worth more than your car. It's crazy to think about, but history loves to hide its riches in plain sight. But why does the 1968 S penny stand out? During that era, the U.S. Mint was transitioning production methods, and proof coins struck in San Francisco were of the highest quality. However, a few misalignments and die variations slipped through. Collectors call one of these the 1968 S double die obverse, and finding one in top condition can send your heart racing faster than a jackpot win in Vegas. Some of these coins have fetched prices that make you question everything. You thought you knew about pennies? Now, here's the part most people miss: the psychology behind collecting. Coins like the 1968 S aren't just about copper and zinc. They're about story and scarcity. They connect us to a moment in time, a tangible piece of history that can be held, traded, and admired. It's a bridge between generations. Investors and collectors alike are drawn not just to value, but to legacy. The fear of missing out, the idea that someone else might uncover a fortune you overlooked, drives the urgency that keeps prices soaring. Still think pennies are pocket change? Consider this: one 1968 S proof penny, perfectly preserved, sold for more than a luxury sports car. And not just once. These coins continue to rise in value as more people discover their rarity. Every auction, every collector's show, every expert's whisper adds to the legend. The market for rare coins is booming, and those who understand it early are reaping the rewards. Imagine this scenario. You're sorting through your late grandfather's coin collection. You spot a shiny 1968 S penny, almost mirror-like, with that unmistakable gleam. You send it in for grading just to be sure. Weeks later, the results come back. Proof 70, the highest possible grade. You can almost hear the auctioneer's gavel in the distance. The bids start at $50,000, then $100,000, and before you know it, nearly $1 million. That's not just luck. That's preparation meeting opportunity. And here's a little humor for you. Some people spend years trying to beat the stock market, when all along their $1 million investment might have been hiding in a sock drawer. It's ironic, isn't it? The secret to wealth might be in the smallest piece of metal you've been ignoring your entire life. Now, let's talk strategy. If you think you might have a 1968 S Lincoln Penny, don't rush to clean it or polish it. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make. It can destroy the coin's value instantly. Instead, handle it carefully, preferably with gloves, and get it professionally appraised. Look for key details like doubling in the word Liberty or the date, and make sure that sharp S mint mark is visible beneath Lincoln's shoulder. These small signs can be the difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing discovery. And if you're serious about finding hidden wealth, start looking now. The market for rare coins is heating up, and as supplies shrink, demand grows stronger. Collectors worldwide are hunting for these pieces, and every year, fewer remain in pristine condition. The window of opportunity is closing, and fast, so what would you do if you found one? Would you sell it immediately and take the cash, or would you hold on to it, knowing its value could double in a few years? That's the thrilling question every collector faces. The only thing worse than missing out on wealth is realizing you had it and let it slip away. As we near the end, let me leave you with this thought. The 1968 Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a symbol. A reminder that true value often hides where we least expect it. In a world obsessed with digital wealth and fast profits, sometimes the key to fortune lies in something timeless, something you can hold in the palm of your hand. So tonight, when you're home, go ahead, open that old jar of pennies. Because who knows, the next life-changing discovery might be waiting right under your fingertips. And if you do find it, remember this moment. Because that little copper coin could be your ticket to the life you've always dreamed of, proof that sometimes the smallest treasures hold the greatest power. Stay curious, stay inspired, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about hidden wealth and rare coins worth a fortune. Because the next one I reveal might just be the coin sitting quietly in your pocket right now. Imagine this, one ordinary-looking penny sitting quietly in a jar, forgotten for decades, turns out to be worth nearly $1 million. You probably have one just like it somewhere in your home right now. But what if that tiny coin could change everything? Your finances, your future, your freedom. Today we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has shocked collectors and experts across America with its staggering value of up to $984,000 in today's market. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, hold on to your seat, because by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why this humble cent is rewriting the rules of modern coin collecting. It all started in the early 1980s, a time of economic uncertainty, shifting industries, and ironically, a renewed appreciation for small things of value. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies each year, but 1984 turned out to be special. Somewhere in that massive production run, a mistake slipped through. A few coins came out with subtle but powerful differences, and those differences would eventually turn into a collector's dream. Most people never noticed them. They spent these coins at grocery stores, dropped them in parking lots, or tossed them into jars without a second thought. But for those who looked closer, something extraordinary was hiding in plain sight. The 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, produced in Philadelphia, is one of those coins that blurs the line between common and priceless. While millions were made, a small fraction carried an extraordinary error, doubling on Lincoln's ear. This isn't just a faint blur or a small scratch. It's a dramatic doubling that creates the illusion of a second ear. In coin collecting terms, it's called a double die obverse. And that error, invisible to most, is what transformed a 1-cent coin into a six-figure treasure. Now, before you rush to grab your change jar, here's where things get interesting. Experts say only a handful of these coins remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, exactly the kind that fetch jaw-dropping prices at auction. One such penny, authenticated and graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, sold for nearly $1 million. Imagine the feeling. Finding something in your drawer worth more than most luxury cars. Funny, isn't it? The same coin you once used to buy gum could now buy a house. Collectors and investors are scrambling to find these rare pennies. The demand for high-grade examples has skyrocketed, and the competition is fierce. But here's the catch. Most people still don't realize how to identify them. The secret lies in the details. The sharpness of the doubling, the condition of the copper surface, and the coin's original luster. One wrong polish or cleaning attempt can destroy its value. Yes, something as simple as trying to shine it up could cost you hundreds of thousands. Sometimes doing less really is worth more. If you're wondering how a coin like this can reach values near $1 million, it's not just about rarity. It's about history, condition, and timing. Collectors are drawn to stories, and this coin tells one. It represents human error at a moment when machines were supposed to be perfect. It's proof that even in mass production, something unique can slip through and become legendary. And right now, in a market hungry for rare finds, this penny has become a symbol of possibility. Think about this. What if your childhood coin collection, that old jar your parents kept, or the change sitting in your car's cup holder holds something this rare? Most people dismiss their loose change as clutter. But what if that clutter could be your golden ticket? The fear of missing out is real and justified because once these coins are found and bought, they rarely resurface. The clock is ticking, and every year fewer of these error pennies remain in circulation. It's easy to think this is all luck, but in reality it's about knowledge. Those who know what to look for, who take the time to learn, are the ones who turn small discoveries into major paydays. That's why stories like this aren't just about money, they're about mindset. The 1984 Lincoln penny teaches us that opportunity often hides where we least expect it. The smallest details, the tiniest imperfections can hold the greatest value. Kind of poetic, isn't it? Now picture this. You're sorting through your old coins one quiet evening. You spot a 1984 penny, no mint mark. You take a closer look under good lighting, and there it is. A doubled ear, crisp details, full red luster. Your heart starts pounding. You send it for grading, and weeks later you get the message. MS-67, double die obverse confirmed. Suddenly, your 1-cent coin is worth more than your retirement savings. What would you do? Sell it? Keep it as a legacy piece? Maybe frame it as a reminder that miracles come in the smallest packages? And here's the twist that keeps experts intrigued. Some suspect there may still be undiscovered varieties of the 1984 penny, hidden away in collections and rolls across the country. Could the next $1 million penny still be out there? Possibly sitting in someone's basement right now? The mystery keeps the hunt alive, and the excitement is contagious. Every day, more people are joining the search, hoping to strike copper gold. So, the next time you come across a 1984 penny with no mint mark, don't ignore it. Don't spend it. Examine it. Study it. That tiny detail on Lincoln's ear could be your path to financial transformation. Remember, wealth often begins not with luck, but with awareness. And if there's one thing this story proves, it's that even the most ordinary objects can hide extraordinary fortunes. The clock is ticking, and every rare penny found makes the next one rarer. Don't let someone else's discovery become your missed opportunity. Start checking your change, your drawers, your old jars, because history has a funny way of rewarding those who pay attention. If this story inspired you, stay with us, because in the next video, we're uncovering another coin that looks almost identical but could be worth even more. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next chance to turn pennies into prosperity. After all, the road to wealth might just start with the smallest coin in your hand. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a simple penny from 1985, and discovering it's worth more than a luxury car, more than a house, even close to $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? But that's the fascinating reality of the 1985 D mint mark Lincoln penny. One small coin, just a single cent, has stunned collectors across the nation with its incredible value, with some examples now commanding prices up to $985,000. Before you dismiss it as a myth, let's uncover why this humble copper coin could change your financial future. You see, not all pennies are created equal. The 1985 D Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but beneath that reddish-brown surface lies a rare combination of historical significance, minting anomalies, and collector obsession that's made it one of the most talked-about coins of the decade. The D, of course, stands for the Denver Mint, which produced hundreds of millions of these coins. But what makes a few of them worth nearly $1 million? That's the question that's turning everyday Americans into treasure hunters. Let's start with the story behind it. By 1985, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition. That shift, intended to save money, ended up creating a perfect storm for minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, and even rare transitional pieces struck on leftover copper planchets from earlier years. Imagine holding one of those mistakes today. A coin that was never meant to exist, one that escaped the watchful eyes of the mint, waiting decades for someone to notice its extraordinary detail. That's where the magic happens, where a single cent becomes a life-changing fortune. Collectors prize these rare 1985 D varieties for more than just their rarity. They tell a story of human error and perfection colliding. One wrong strike of the die, one misaligned planchet, and suddenly a coin goes from worth 1 cent to nearly $1 million. And here's where things get really interesting. Many of these coins are still out there, in jars, drawers, and forgotten boxes of loose change across America. Think about that for a moment. That old coffee can of pennies you've ignored for years might be holding a hidden masterpiece worth more than you ever dreamed. The 1985 D. Lincoln penny has captivated the numismatic community because of its peculiar visual traits. Some of the most valuable examples feature a strong double die obverse. Look closely, and you might see doubled lettering on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Others display unusual die cracks, broad strikes, or an exceptionally strong strike that sets them apart. High-grade uncirculated examples, especially those with pristine luster and full details, are skyrocketing in value. One recently sold for close to $985,000 at auction, simply because it combined perfection, rarity, and historical intrigue in one gleaming coin. But let's be honest, most of us overlook pennies. We toss them aside thinking they're worthless. That's where fear meets opportunity. While you're ignoring these coins, others are cashing in on them. Every year, collectors find rare varieties worth tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, right from their pocket change. So ask yourself, how many fortunes have passed through your hands unnoticed? How many small chances at wealth have you unknowingly spent at a gas station counter? The beauty of coin collecting lies in that unpredictability. It's part science, part adventure, and part luck. Some collectors spend years studying every detail: the weight, the rim, the mint mark, the sound when dropped on a hard surface. Others just stumble upon a treasure. There's something exhilarating about that, knowing that wealth isn't always in a paycheck or a bank account, but sometimes in something as ordinary as a penny you've held for decades. Of course, the 1985 D penny's allure isn't only in its errors. It's also about grade. Condition is everything. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC and Mint State 68 or higher are the ones commanding jaw-dropping prices. Imagine the rush of opening that coin roll, sending a shiny example for grading, and realizing you're holding a near-perfect piece of American history. That's the kind of discovery that turns ordinary people into legends in the collecting world. Now here's the twist. The window of opportunity might be closing. As more collectors scour through old coins and uncover hidden gems, the number of undiscovered treasures shrinks. Every day you wait, another collector could find the coin that might have been yours. Think of it like a gold rush. Only this time, the gold fits in the palm of your hand and says, 1 cent. So, what should you look for right now? Start with your 1985 D. Lincoln pennies. Check for crisp details, doubling on the lettering, or unusual coloration. Examine the edges and the rim for any signs of off-center strikes or thickness variations. Weigh them. Copper pennies should weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc ones should be 2.5. If you find one that doesn't fit either weight exactly, you might be looking at something rare, something the mint never intended to exist. Here's a thought to keep you awake tonight. What if the coin that could change your life has already been sitting in your house for decades? What if the next great coin discovery isn't buried deep in a collector's vault, but waiting quietly in your kitchen drawer? It's almost poetic, wealth hidden in plain sight. Waiting for the person sharp enough, curious enough, and daring enough to notice it. It's stories like this that remind us that opportunity often hides in the ordinary. That fortune favors not just the bold, but the observant. The 1985 D. Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol of unexpected wealth, of history blending with luck. The kind of story you can tell your grandchildren. That one day, you found $1 million treasure hiding in your own change. Before you go digging through your coin jar, remember, knowledge is your greatest investment. Learn, research, and stay curious. Rare coins don't just reward collectors. They reward the dreamers who believe that something small can still hold extraordinary value. So here's your challenge. Tonight, open that old drawer. Empty that jar of coins you've been ignoring. Take a closer look at every 1985 D penny you find. Because while others are sleeping on their fortunes, you could be the one holding history in your hand, and maybe, just maybe, turning a penny into a legacy. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to stay with us because in our next video, we're revealing another coin even rarer than this one. A coin so valuable it has collectors around the world on high alert. You won't want to miss it.
Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change, an ordinary-looking Lincoln penny that's been sitting unnoticed for decades, only to discover it could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But the truth is, rare coins like the 1987 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny have quietly transformed everyday people into unexpected millionaires. So before you spend that old penny sitting in your drawer, listen closely. You might be holding a hidden treasure worth $987,000 or more. In the late 1980s, America was booming with optimism. Wall Street was roaring, technology was beginning to reshape the world, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was producing millions of Lincoln cents stamped with that tiny D Mint mark. Most were ordinary copper-plated zinc coins, each worth just 1 cent. But a few were extraordinary. These rare error coins, struck under unusual conditions or preserved in exceptional perfection, have become the stuff of numismatic legend. And today, those rare survivors are selling for staggering amounts in auctions and private collections. Now, before you say, "It's just a penny, how could it possibly be worth that much?" Let's break it down. A standard 1987 D penny weighs 2.5 grams and is made mostly of zinc, but a small number were accidentally struck on copper planchets left over from earlier years. These are the golden tickets of the coin world. One recently authenticated specimen was graded at the highest level by PCGS, the professional coin grading service, and sold for close to $987,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin that could have easily gone through a vending machine. And that's not all. Even among the standard zinc versions, condition is everything. A coin in perfect mint state with a deep, lustrous red finish and no contact marks can fetch thousands of dollars from collectors hungry for pristine examples. Think of it like real estate. 2 houses on the same street, but one is flawless while the other's been through a hurricane. Which do you think sells for more? But here's the catch: time is running out. The older these coins get, the more they disappear into private collections, safe boxes, and museums. Each year, fewer are available for public sale. And as scarcity grows, so does demand. The market for rare Lincoln pennies has exploded, driven by a mix of nostalgia, investment potential, and the thrill of discovery. So if you've got a jar of old change at home, this might be your moment to strike gold. Well, copper. What makes the 1987 D penny so special isn't just its value, but the story it carries. Picture the Denver Mint, 1987. The machines roaring, coins clinking, molten metal flowing through precision molds. Millions of pennies stamped every day. Yet a few emerge as anomalies, mistruck, off-centered, double-dyed, or pressed on the wrong metal. These errors slip past inspection, vanish into circulation, and decades later resurface like buried treasure. It's a reminder that even in a world of mass production, perfection, and imperfection can define destiny. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Collectors today are not just hobbyists. They're investors. They know that coins like the 1987 D Lincoln penny are part of a shrinking supply of tangible historical assets. While stocks fluctuate and digital currencies crash overnight, rare coins hold real physical value that has survived wars, recessions, and revolutions. So when you hold one in your hand, you're holding a tiny piece of America's economic history, and possibly your financial future. But let's be honest, how many people actually check their pennies carefully? Most of us toss them into jars, leave them in car cup holders, or hand them to cashiers without a second thought. Yet that very habit could be costing thousands, maybe even a fortune. A little magnifying glass, good lighting, and 10 minutes of curiosity could uncover the next 6-figure penny sitting right under your nose. Isn't it crazy that something so small could change everything? And don't think it's too late. The market for Lincoln cents is more alive now than ever. Auction houses report record-breaking bids for rare specimens, while online marketplaces are buzzing with collectors hunting for their next prize. The key is knowledge, knowing what to look for, what makes a coin special, and how to get it authenticated. If your 1987 D penny shows sharp details, clean surfaces, and that iconic red luster, it could already be worth more than you imagine. Now, here's where the story takes an exciting twist. There are whispers among collectors of unverified varieties, double die errors, off-metal strikes, and even transitional planchets still waiting to be discovered. Each rumor adds fuel to the excitement, and every new find makes headlines across the numismatic world. Could the next big discovery come from you? Could your old penny, the one sitting in a forgotten drawer, be the next $1 million miracle? The only way to know is to look, but act fast. As more people catch on to this hidden market, opportunities vanish quickly. Collectors and investors are scooping up high-grade coins faster than ever. Prices that once seemed unbelievable are now setting new records every year. Those who hesitate often return months later to see the same coin selling for double or triple. And let's face it, nobody wants to be the one saying, "I had one of those, but I spent it." The lesson here is simple but powerful. Wealth often hides in plain sight. The 1987 D. Lincoln penny teaches us that value isn't always obvious. It's discovered by those who look closer, think differently, and act decisively. Whether you're a casual collector or someone searching for a new path to financial freedom, this coin symbolizes opportunity. An opportunity that's small enough to fit in your hand but powerful enough to change your life. So before you walk away from this video, make yourself a promise. The next time you empty your pockets, check every penny, because one of them could hold your future. Don't wait until someone else finds the fortune you pass by. And if you're ready to learn how to identify, grade, and sell coins like the 1987 D. Lincoln penny for top dollar, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. The next video could be the one that turns your curiosity into a discovery, and your discovery into a fortune. Your journey to wealth might start with just one penny. Don't miss it. Welcome back. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old drawer, and finding a single penny, darkened with age, maybe a little worn around the edges, and realizing it could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet that's exactly what's been happening with the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin most people would walk right past without a second glance. But what if that tiny copper coin could change your life? What if it could open the door to the kind of financial freedom most people only dream about? For decades, collectors and everyday Americans alike have underestimated the power of what's jingling in their pockets. The 1988 no-mint Mark penny is proof that the most extraordinary opportunities can hide in plain sight. At first glance, it looks ordinary, a coppery coin bearing Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile. But beneath that modest surface lies a story of rarity, error, and value so staggering that it's become one of the most talked about coins in the numismatic world today. What makes this 1-cent coin potentially worth up to $988,000 in today's market? It's not just luck. It's history, precision, and the rare imperfections that make collectors' hearts race. Most of these pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which didn't use a mint mark. But among them, a few were struck with details that shouldn't exist. Minute design anomalies that occurred when dies from different years were mistakenly used together. These hybrid coins, as collectors call them, are the holy grail of the 1980s penny era. Now, you might be thinking, come on, it's just a penny. How can that be worth nearly $1 million? Well, imagine this. The very same coin you used to buy gum in the 80s could now pay off your mortgage, send your grandkids to college, and still leave you with enough left over to retire comfortably. Funny how life works, right? The smallest coin in your pocket might just hold the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. But here's the twist most people don't realize. Only a handful of these rare 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln pennies are known to exist. They weren't made intentionally, which makes them incredibly difficult to find. Each one discovered today sends ripples through the collector community. Auctions light up, bids soar, and ordinary people suddenly find themselves at the center of attention, holding a piece of history that experts are willing to pay a fortune for. The real question is, could you have one sitting in your change jar right now? Could there be a coin on your dresser or tucked away in a forgotten coin roll that's quietly waiting to change your life? Don't laugh. People have found these exact coins in pocket change, in old coin jars, even inside drawers passed down from parents and grandparents. Every single time it happens, it reminds us that luck favors those who pay attention. Let's talk specifics, because details are everything in the world of coins. The 1988 no-mint Mark penny with the rare transitional error shows subtle yet powerful differences. On the reverse side, the designer's initials are slightly misplaced, tiny marks that distinguish it from common versions. Under magnification, these details reveal their secrets. The letters, spacing, and engravings tell a story that only the trained eye can see. And when collectors spot it, they know instantly. They're looking at a small piece of American minting history worth more than gold. What's more exciting is how the value of this coin has climbed in recent years. Decades ago, these pennies were just curiosities. But now, with collectors competing globally and digital auctions driving demand, the market has exploded. The highest verified sale? A jaw-dropping $988,000 for a near-perfect specimen. Imagine the tension in that auction room as bids climbed higher and higher, hearts racing, palms sweating, and the realization setting in that a 1-cent coin was about to sell for nearly $1 million. Now, before you rush to dump your penny jars on the kitchen table, take a breath. You'll want to know what to look for. Carefully inspect every 1988 penny you find. Focus on the clarity of Lincoln's profile, the sharpness of the date, and the alignment of the letters on both sides. Look especially at the designer initials near the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. If they don't match up perfectly, or if something seems slightly off, you may have found something extraordinary. And here's where the sense of urgency kicks in. These coins aren't getting any easier to find. Each day, more of them are being discovered, sold, or tucked away in private collections forever. The window of opportunity is closing fast. Once collectors get their hands on these coins, they rarely let go. Waiting too long might mean missing out on one of the most lucrative discoveries in modern coin history. There's also a deeper message hidden in this story. Sometimes wealth doesn't come from working harder. It comes from noticing what others ignore. Think about it. How many people have held this coin and spent it without a second thought? How many potential millionaires unknowingly dropped it into a vending machine or handed it over as change at a gas station? That's the irony of value. It hides best where we least expect it. If there's one thing the 1988 no-mint mark penny teaches us, it's that fortune favors the curious. Maybe it's time to start looking closer, paying attention to the small details, and seeing opportunity where others see only ordinary things. Because sometimes, it's not about finding treasure. It's about realizing you've been holding it all along. And just imagine the story you'll tell when you do find one. Picture the moment you walk into an appraisal office with a small coin and walk out knowing your life has changed forever. The laughter, the disbelief, the excitement. It's the stuff of dreams. Except this dream is real. So tonight, when you get home, pull out those jars, dig through your drawers, and take a closer look at your change. The next time you see a 1988 penny with no mint mark, don't overlook it. That humble coin could be your key to the financial freedom you've been chasing all your life. Because wealth doesn't always arrive in big packages. Sometimes, it comes disguised as a single copper coin waiting patiently for someone wise enough to recognize its true worth. And who knows? Maybe that someone is you. If you found this story inspiring, stay with us. Because we're uncovering even more rare coins that could be hiding right in your pocket, each one capable of transforming your financial future. So keep watching, keep searching, and remember, every penny has a story, but some stories are worth millions. Welcome back. Imagine this, you're holding a penny in your hand, a simple copper coin you've probably ignored for decades. It's dated 1997, bears the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, and carries a small D under the date. Now imagine realizing that this very penny could be worth up to $997,000. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that stories like this are real? That people across the country are cashing in on rare errors, hidden mint marks, and overlooked details that turn a single cent into a life-changing fortune. Every day, ordinary Americans are discovering treasures sitting quietly in old jars, dresser drawers, and forgotten boxes in the attic. The 1997 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those hidden gems. Struck in Denver, millions were minted that year, yet a few rare varieties escaped into circulation. Coins so unusual that collectors will pay astonishing sums to own them. The question is, could you be holding one of them right now? To understand why this coin is so valuable, you first have to understand how the smallest errors can create the biggest rewards. The U.S. Mint, despite its precision, isn't immune to mistakes. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, and transitional planchets. These tiny imperfections can turn an everyday penny into a collector's dream. The 1997 D penny is known for a select few of these rare features. Some have been found with an unusually bold doubling on Lincoln's eyes and inscriptions. Others were struck on the wrong metal composition, remnants of a minting transition. And then there are those with die cracks and striking misalignments so perfectly flawed that collectors consider them works of accidental art. Now here's where things get fascinating. One of these rare 1997 D pennies, verified by professional grading services, sold for nearly $1 million in a private auction. That's right, 1 cent turned into $997,000 because of a minting anomaly that most people would never notice. Imagine checking your change and realizing your coin is the one experts are chasing. It's the kind of discovery that can rewrite your financial story overnight. But let's pause for a second. How many times have you looked at your coins and thought, they're just pennies? How many of those just pennies have slipped through your fingers, unexamined, unvalued, unappreciated? The truth is, the rarest treasures often hide in plain sight. And while you're listening to this, someone, somewhere, might already be rummaging through their old jars, fueled by the same curiosity that's building inside you right now. There's an emotional rush that comes with realizing something ordinary might be extraordinary. It's a mix of excitement and regret. Excitement that you might own one, and regret that you might have spent 1 year ago on a pack of gum. Funny, isn't it? The penny we once saw as useless change could now change your life. Now, here's where the real opportunity begins. Collectors and numismatic investors are hunting for these 1997 D varieties with increasing urgency. Market trends show that prices for verified error coins are skyrocketing. Why? Because rarity and demand go hand in hand. As more people learn about these coins, fewer are available in the wild. The clock is ticking, and the window to find one is closing fast. If you're serious about uncovering hidden wealth, start by examining every 1997 D penny you own. Use a magnifying glass and look closely at Lincoln's features. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," and the word 1 cent on the reverse. Any doubling, distortion, or unusual shine might mean you're holding something special. And if you do find something unusual, don't rush to sell it to just anyone. Have it graded and authenticated by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A certified label can multiply your coin's value instantly. Now, imagine this next part. You find one. The news spreads. A penny from your childhood turns into nearly $1 million. Suddenly, the possibilities open up. Paying off debt, buying a dream home, securing your retirement. All from a coin that once sat forgotten in a cup holder. It's thrilling, but also sobering. Because for every person who finds one, countless others never looked. Here's a little perspective. How many people dismissed Bitcoin in its early days? Or ignored gold when it was cheap? The rare coin market works the same way. Those who pay attention, who educate themselves, who take action, are the ones who win. The rest, well, they're the ones still waiting for luck to knock. And don't think this only happens to professional collectors. Some of the biggest discoveries have come from regular folks. Teachers, truck drivers, retirees, people who took a moment to look a little closer. One man in Colorado reportedly found a 1997 D error penny in a roll from his local bank. He almost spent it but decided to research it first. That single decision turned into nearly $1 million. A moment of curiosity became a lifetime of financial security. Think about that. A moment. That's all it takes. A moment to check, a moment to believe that maybe, just maybe, you're holding something remarkable. And yet, as exciting as this sounds, here's the real kicker: these coins are disappearing fast. Collectors are buying them up, tucking them into private collections, and driving the value higher each year. What's worth $997,000 today could easily cross the $1 million mark tomorrow. You might laugh now, but that's what people said about the 1943 copper penny. Until it's sold for over $1 million, so what are you waiting for? Go through your old jars, check your piggy banks, and look inside those forgotten coin rolls. Every 1997 D penny deserves a second glance. You never know which one might be your golden ticket, or should we say your copper fortune. And when you find one, don't just think of it as a coin. Think of it as a symbol. A reminder that wealth doesn't always come from where we expect it. Sometimes, it's sitting right in the palm of our hand, disguised as something ordinary. Before you go, remember this: wealth isn't just about money. It's about awareness, curiosity, and timing. The ones who take action now, who learn, search, and believe in the value of the unseen, will be the ones telling their success stories tomorrow. So start looking, stay curious, and maybe the next great discovery won't just be in your pocket. It'll be in your hands. And if you want to keep uncovering the hidden fortunes buried in America's coins, make sure you subscribe. Because the next penny we talk about might just be worth more than a house. Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket that could change your entire life. Not a golden treasure, not a hidden diamond, but a simple 2002 mint Mark Lincoln penny, worth not just a few cents, but up to millions of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But stay with me, because what you're about to hear might make you check every coin jar, drawer, and couch cushion in your home tonight. The 2002 Lincoln penny might look like any ordinary cent, brown, small, and easy to ignore. Yet, beneath that humble copper-plated surface lies a story of rarity, error, and luck that's captivating collectors across the nation. Denver, where these pennies were minted, produced over $3.2 billion that year. So why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands, even millions, for one? The answer lies in a combination of minting mysteries and market demand that only a few truly understand. Picture this: a penny struck slightly off-center, or with a double die error that gives Lincoln's image a ghostly twin, or a coin minted on the wrong metal planchet, perhaps left over from previous years. These small quirks can turn an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime jackpot. And when you realize that one rare variation of this very penny recently sold for a staggering $202,000 at auction, it makes you wonder, how many unnoticed treasures are quietly hiding in plain sight? Collectors today aren't just hobbyists. They're treasure hunters, investors, visionaries who know that history and wealth often share the same face. What drives the price of a coin like this sky high isn't just rarity. It's the story it carries. A perfect 2002 penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can already command thousands. Add a minting error, and you've entered the realm of fortune. The thrill of discovery fuels the fire, because for every person who dismisses pocket change as worthless, there's someone else out there finding their financial freedom in the smallest of places. Now, before you start tearing apart your coin collection, let's talk about what really makes these coins so valuable. Grading is everything. A penny graded MS-68 or higher by PCGS or NGC can be worth more than a luxury car. The surface has to gleam with perfection, free from scratches, nicks, or dull spots. Every line of Lincoln's face must stand sharp and proud, every letter crisp and bold. Think of it as the difference between a dusty attic painting and a newly discovered lost masterpiece. And here's where things get fascinating. Error pennies from the 2002 batch are especially sought after. Some have what's known as a die crack, where a fine, lightning-like line runs through the coin's surface. Others were struck multiple times, creating that double die effect. A few even escaped with off-metal strikes, using blanks intended for other denominations. Each mistake tells a story, a glimpse into the unpredictable dance of machines and metal inside the Denver Mint 2 decades ago. But let's be honest, most people will never notice these details. That's why so many treasures end up tossed into jars, exchanged at stores, or forgotten in old wallets. The irony? Every single day, millions of these coins still change hands across America, and no one's paying attention. Maybe that's what makes this whole thing so thrilling. The next time you're handed change at a grocery store, you could be holding a coin that's worth more than your house. And here's where the urgency kicks in. As collectors and investors flood the market, the window for discovering these hidden gems is shrinking fast. Coin dealers, auction houses, and online marketplaces have started snapping up rare 2002 pennies at record pace. Prices have surged in the last few years, and experts predict they'll keep climbing. The simple truth is, opportunity doesn't knock twice, especially not in copper. Imagine, just for a second, what it would feel like to sell a penny for $202,000. The relief of wiping away debt, the thrill of paying off a mortgage, the freedom to travel, invest, or simply breathe without financial worry. That's not fantasy. It's reality for a lucky few who took the time to look closer. Because the wealthy aren't always the ones who work harder. They're often the ones who notice what others ignore. So here's the challenge. Tonight, after this video ends, go through your coin jar. Look at every penny. Focus on the year 2002 and find that little D mint mark under the date. Hold it up to the light. Check for doubling, cracks, misalignments, or unusual coloring. And if you find one that looks just a bit different, don't dismiss it. That tiny imperfection could be your golden ticket. And remember, every great discovery begins with curiosity. People laughed at the idea of old baseball cards or comic books being worth millions too, until the auctions began. The same is happening now in the coin world. The humble Lincoln penny, a coin most people pass by without a glance, is becoming a symbol of hidden opportunity. Of course, not every 2002 penny will make you rich, but that's part of the magic. It's the thrill of possibility, the idea that greatness could be hiding in something so small, so ordinary. And even if you don't strike gold right away, you'll start to see the world differently. You'll realize that wealth often hides where patience, knowledge, and passion meet. So, as you sift through your change, ask yourself this. What if the fortune you've been searching for has been in your hands all along? Maybe the next legendary coin story starts with you. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of hidden treasures, don't let it end here. Subscribe, stay curious, and keep exploring the extraordinary value hidden in ordinary things. Because sometimes the smallest discoveries lead to the biggest fortunes. And who knows, your next penny might just be worth a millionaire's dream. Welcome back. Imagine finding a single penny, just one, that could change your entire life. A coin so ordinary you might have walked past it 100 times without knowing it could be worth up to millions of dollars. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly the story behind the 2006 Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a small copper-colored coin that's making big waves among collectors and investors alike. And today, you're about to discover why this seemingly everyday penny could be your ticket to unexpected wealth. Now, before you check your coin jar or that old drawer full of loose change, let's rewind for a second. The 2006 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, part of a series that's been circulating for decades. On the surface, it looks just like every other penny, Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 2006 pennies were created equal. A small number left the mint with rare die errors, misstrikes, or unusual metal compositions that transformed them from pocket change into priceless treasures. It's these tiny, almost invisible imperfections that can turn a 1-cent coin into a $206,000 masterpiece. Collectors go wild for them, and auction houses have seen bidding wars that would make even the calmest person sweat. Why? Because rarity drives value, and the rarer the flaw, the higher the price climbs. And here's the kicker. Many of these valuable pennies are still out there, waiting to be found by someone who knows what to look for. So, what makes the 2006 penny so special? For one, the year 2006 marked a time when minting technology was changing. Automated systems made coins faster than ever before, but even high-tech machines can make mistakes. Some coins were struck on older copper planchets instead of the modern zinc-coated ones. Others have double dies, subtle doubling of letters or numbers visible under magnification. And then there are those with off-center strikes, rim errors, or mysterious plating issues that make collectors' hearts race. Imagine holding one of those in your hand, knowing a small imperfection could mean a six-figure payday. But here's the truth most people don't want to face. Millions of Americans have rare coins sitting in jars, drawers, or coffee cans, completely unaware of their hidden value. They see a penny and think, it's just 1 cent. And that's the fear factor. What if you've already spent a fortune without even knowing it? What if one of those coins that slipped through your fingers could have paid off your home, your debt, or even your retirement? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? Now let's talk numbers, because this isn't just hype. Verified 2006 pennies in pristine condition with specific errors have sold for eye-watering amounts. The most valuable examples have fetched prices as high as $206,000 in private sales and specialized auctions. Even standard uncirculated coins without errors can go for hundreds of dollars when graded highly by professional services like PCGS or NGC. The higher the grade, the shinier the profit. And if you think that's rare, consider this: every year, collectors spend millions chasing these elusive pieces. You could be sitting on gold disguised as copper. So how can you tell if your penny is one of the lucky ones? Start with the basics. Check the mint mark. The small D below the date means it was minted in Denver. Inspect both sides carefully under good lighting. Look for doubling in the date or lettering, any strange textures or missing details, or a striking misalignment. If something looks off, don't ignore it. Coins that seem weird are often the ones worth a fortune. A small quirk in design could mean the difference between a cent and a six-figure check. And if you do find one, don't rush to sell it. That's where many people go wrong. Condition is everything. Handle it carefully, avoid cleaning it, and get it professionally appraised or graded. Once verified, you can list it on auction platforms or through trusted coin dealers who specialize in rare Lincoln cents. Patience can pay, literally. Sometimes waiting for the right buyer or market timing can multiply your profit exponentially. Now let's take a moment to dream a little. Picture this: you're holding a coin that everyone else overlooked. A coin that's been passed from hand to hand for years, lying unnoticed in circulation, until it found you. You decide to get it checked, and the appraiser looks at you with that mix of disbelief and envy, because you've just discovered a 2006 penny worth hundreds of thousands. In that moment, the impossible becomes real. You realize wealth doesn't always come from what's new or shiny. It often hides in the forgotten corners of the past. Of course, this isn't just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the satisfaction of uncovering something extraordinary where no one else bothered to look. It's about turning curiosity into opportunity. Because when you start paying attention to the small things, amazing things can happen. Who knew a penny could teach that kind of lesson? And here's where the urgency kicks in. These coins are disappearing fast. Collectors, dealers, and even AI-assisted grading services are scanning through millions of coins every year. The longer you wait, the slimmer your chances become of finding one in the wild. Time, like money, waits for no one. So the next time you get change at the grocery store or empty your pockets at the end of the day, don't overlook that dull little penny. It might just be your millionaire moment waiting to happen. But before you rush off to search, remember this: knowledge is your greatest tool. The people who profit from rare coins aren't just lucky. They're informed. They know what to look for, how to verify it, and when to sell. You can be one of them. All it takes is awareness, patience, and a little bit of daring. So, here's the challenge. Tonight, take out your coin jar, grab a magnifying glass, and start looking. Somewhere out there, a 2006 Lincoln penny could be waiting for you. A single cent with a story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And when you find it, your life might never be the same again. If the story sparked something in you, make sure you stay tuned. Because every coin has a secret, and the next one could be the key to your future wealth. Subscribe now, and let's uncover more hidden treasures together. One penny at a time. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand. One that could change your entire financial future. It's small, light, and often ignored. Yet, if it's the right one, it could be worth more than some luxury cars or even a house. Today, we're diving into the story of the 2015 Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that most people have tossed aside without a second thought, but a few smart collectors have sold for over $215,000. Yes, you heard that right, $215,000 for a penny. Sounds unbelievable? Keep watching, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin could make you rethink every penny sitting in your pocket. It all began in Denver, back in 2015. Millions of Lincoln pennies were struck that year, shiny, ordinary, and seemingly worthless. But here's the twist. Not all pennies are created equal. Some left the Denver Mint with tiny imperfections, minting errors so rare that collectors now hunt them like hidden treasure. These are the kinds of mistakes that turn an everyday coin into a six-figure jackpot. Now, think about it. How many times have you tossed a penny into a jar or left it on the counter because it wasn't worth keeping? If only you knew that one of those could be your ticket to early retirement. One of the most valuable 2015 Lincoln pennies discovered had a dramatic double die error. a visible doubling of the date and lettering that made it a numismatic miracle. When experts examined it, they realized it wasn't just a minor flaw, it was a once-in-a-generation misstrike. That single coin sold for $215,000 at auction. And here's the kicker. It was found in everyday pocket change. Imagine buying a cup of coffee, getting change back, and unknowingly holding a six-figure fortune in your palm. Now, before you rush to empty your coin jars, here's what makes the story even more thrilling. The U.S. Mint doesn't publicly reveal how many of these flawed coins may have slipped through. That means they could still be out there, sitting in your drawers, lying on the floor of your car, or hidden in an old coin roll you haven't opened in years. The opportunity isn't gone. It's just waiting for someone sharp enough to recognize it. And that's where you come in. Collectors and investors alike are always looking for rarity and condition. Two identical coins can have wildly different values depending on their grade. A 2015 penny in pristine mint state condition can easily fetch hundreds of dollars. But combine that flawless shine with a rare minting error, and you're suddenly looking at tens, even hundreds of thousands. It's the perfect blend of rarity, condition, and timing that creates these million-dollar moments. Here's where the fear factor comes in. Every day, thousands of people unknowingly spend or discard rare pennies. Coins with tiny die cracks, off-center strikes, or misaligned designs are often mistaken for damaged coins. But those small flaws can make a collector's heart race, and their wallets open wide. Are you sure the last handful of change you spent at the grocery store didn't contain one? If you're not checking, you might be letting a small fortune slip through your fingers. The Lincoln penny has been in production since 1909, and for over a century it's been quietly minting stories of luck and fortune. The 2015 penny continues that legacy, bridging modern minting technology with the thrill of discovery. For coin hunters, it's a modern treasure map, one where X marks the spot, could be hiding in your own pocket. And let's be honest, who doesn't love the idea of finding something valuable that everyone else overlooked? It's the modern-day gold rush, only this time the gold fits in your palm. You don't need a pickaxe, a shovel, or a mine. Just patience, knowledge, and a keen eye. The beauty of this opportunity is that it's hiding in plain sight. While others are chasing get-rich-quick schemes, you're learning how to literally turn pennies into power. But here's a little humor for you. Imagine explaining to your friends that your new car, your dream vacation, or your early retirement came from a 1-cent coin. They'd laugh until they see the auction receipt. That's the irony of wealth. Sometimes it hides behind the smallest things. So, how can you spot one of these valuable 2015 pennies? Start by examining the details. Look for doubling in the inscriptions, especially on Liberty and the date. Check for die cracks along Lincoln's profile or unusual marks near the rim. And always inspect both sides. Some of the most valuable errors are found on the reverse, where the Lincoln memorial or shield design can reveal subtle misalignments or extra metal streaks. If something looks slightly off, it might just be perfectly rare. If you find one, don't rush to clean it. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value instantly. Instead, store it carefully and get it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certification can be the difference between a coin selling for a few $100s or several $100,000. Now, here's the part that excites serious collectors and investors alike. Coin values don't just stay static, they evolve. As fewer high-grade specimens are found, prices climb. The market for modern mint errors has exploded in recent years, and collectors are now paying record amounts for coins that used to be dismissed as minor mistakes. The 2015 penny is a perfect example of how modern change can hold future wealth. But don't wait too long. As more people become aware of these rare coins, the competition grows fiercer. Every day, thousands of hobbyists are searching coin rolls, scanning change, and uploading their finds online. The clock is ticking, and the next big discovery might not wait for you to catch up. If there's one lesson from this story, it's this. Wealth often hides in places most people ignore. The 2015 Lincoln penny reminds us that opportunities for prosperity don't always come in shiny packages or grand gestures. Sometimes they come in the form of a small, overlooked coin. One that challenges you to pay attention, think differently, and act quickly. So tonight, when you get home, go through your loose change. Look carefully. Because while others are watching opportunities pass by, you might just find your $1 million penny. The only question left is, will you recognize it when you see it? If you're ready to discover more coins like this, coins that could turn your small change into real wealth, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Because the next penny we uncover might be the one that changes your life forever.